we'll be starting in a minute, so everyone will have to take their seats. Okay, hi everyone. Welcome to our Be the Change event. Changemakers. So first, I'd like to welcome Govindarajan Uncle, CEO, and Shanti Bhatia, President of Agraj Seva Kendra, to the stage. Can you please come on stage for a flower bouquet presentation? Yeah, pose for a picture. Right, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, stand there. Oh, you need them. So Anusha and Aruhi will also be leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance. So you guys want to come over here? Or I'll just give it to you. Can everyone please rise?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, guys. You may be seated. So welcome to our event again, everyone. My name is Sweta Ananthu, and I'm a program exec here at Agraj Seva Kendra.
Hi everyone, my name is Kavya and I am the MC for tonight's event. We have some amazing honorees today, so first we would like to thank all of you for taking your time out of your Friday evening to come here and support this recognition. We also want to acknowledge and thank some honorable dignitaries who are here today. First, we would like to thank the East Brunswick Mayor, Mayor Brad Cohen. Thank you so much for your support and attendance here today. And we'd also like to thank Assemblyman Sterling Stanley and members of the East Brunswick Township Council. And this includes Council President Kevin McAvoy, Council Vice President Mrs. Dana Zimbicki, Councilwoman Mrs. Dana Winston, Councilman Dinesh Bahal, and Councilman James Wendell. So thank you so much for their support, which has made this program possible. We'd like to also thank John Arthur, the East Brunswick Library Director, for his support and attendance today. And we'd also like to thank Robert Zuckerman, the East Brunswick Township Economic Development Officer. And so now we can invite the...
Sean will do the presentation now.
Oh, here it is. Okay. So now we'd like to invite, little change in the plans. We'd like to welcome Sean Illingworth, the Director of Rutgers Oral History Archives, up to the stage for a brief presentation on honorees today. Thank you. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much, everyone, for having me. I really appreciate this opportunity to talk to you a little bit about the lives of the people who are receiving the awards tonight. As was mentioned, I'm the director of the Rutgers Oral History Archive up at Rutgers, New Brunswick. We're a part of the history department there. And I'm very proud that we've been able to partner with the Indian American Club of Rossmore, and also, I'll look so I can get the name right, Agraj, Seva, Kendra, over the years on different events, and able to capture the stories of so many from these two communities. And add them to our archive so that people all over the world can read the stories and benefit from them. They appear in books, school projects, museum exhibits, documentaries, all sorts of outlets. Many people want to listen to these stories, and hopefully, you know, everyone who participates gets something out of it too. They get copies of the interviews to share with their families, passed down to the next generation. So without any further ado, I'm going to get my laptop. So I'll be going through a little bit of biography of each person who's being honored. If the technology works, let me start that again. There we are, okay. So the first thing I want to say is that I'm not going to cover their entire lives, obviously, because this is, again, a brief presentation, but I have tried to give you a sense of the different things that they did in their lives, but pull from their oral histories clips that really illustrate key moments and influences in their lives. I mean, we could all read their resumes, and they're very impressive, but as an oral historian, somebody who gets to sit down and talk to these folks, the things that I find most interesting are what motivates somebody, what went through their head as they were living through a particular event, or what motivated them to start an organization or run for office, or what that experience was like. So really the experiential approach is what I'm aiming for here. The audio will come out of this, so if you can't quite hear it, it's up as loud as it can. So let's just try to keep any talking to a minimum so everyone can hear the clips. Thank you. All right. So the first honoree is Dr. V.K. Raju. Dr. Vadrevu V.K. Raju is a surgeon, university professor, and the founding director of the Eye Foundation of America. Dr. Raju was born and raised in Rajahmundry in the state of Andhra Pradesh, India. He, like our other honorees tonight, traces his success in life and his desire to help others back to his roots in his family and his Indian culture and religion and philosophy. Since his father, a prominent lawyer, passed away when he was only 5, he developed an especially tight bond with his mother. In this passage from our October 2022 interview, Dr. Raju recalls how her beliefs shaped his view of the world.
My mother used to say the religion, Hinduism, is actually philosophy became religion. The roots of Hindu thought is all in Sanskrit.
Thank you.
Manasa, Vacha, Karmana. What you think, what you say, what you do is the true religion. But after that, the things that came into religion, this became more and more rituals. Other than that religion is truly the roots of that. My mother always used to say things like that. You don't need to go to a temple if you don't want to. You don't need to, but you can have a brave belief. She always has wanted us to believe in something, and they always focused on basic, your dharma, your attitude, what you do in day-to-day life.
All right, so there you get a sense of his background, his philosophy. Next, Dr. Raju completed his basic education in Rajahmundry in the late 1940s and 50s. He went to medical school at Andhra University, where he earned an MBBS. And from there, his career aspirations took him next to the United Kingdom, as he'll discuss in this next clip.
So, I joined ophthalmology in India, but whatever, I don't think in particular reason, I'll fellow of the Royal College of Surgeons, that we all had at that time. You know, like today, a lot of people would like to come to America too, all over the world. If they have a chance, they would like to go to United States. At that time, England, London. So I applied for it, I got it, and then I went to London. And ophthalmology, I could not get it within immediately. I joined the emergency room, and then things have changed. I got incredible references. And then I was about to, after 5-6 years, I was about to go back to India. I filled up that form I filled, and coming back. They are all supposed to give me a teaching job in the university because I'm an FRCS, is at that time rare degree, not many people did it. but there was a delay. Anyway, I never heard from them. During that time, I had an opportunity for United States, and they are looking corneal transplant in the eye. The cornea, the front part of the eye replaced, and blind person can see again. And I trained with the 2 people in London, the top-notch, stalwarts in cornea, and they are new people here in West Virginia. Without doing any residency, I was taken as an assistant professor. I was lucky, truly lucky.
So that's another theme that comes up in the interviews, being able to strike at the right moment, so to speak. Here he was in touch with some of the top eye surgeons, the cutting edge, so to speak, of corneal eye surgery. And so he was able to leverage that into a position at West Virginia University. That was in 1976. Since then, his career has just taken off. He's the lead clinical professor of ophthalmology at West Virginia now. He's also an adjunct professor at the Wilmer Eye Institute at Johns Hopkins University. In the late 1970s, Dr. Raju began to focus on treating children with vision problems in underserved areas of the world. In 1979, he founded the Eye Foundation of America, a charitable organization that provides eye care for children in developing countries. Here he's going to talk a little bit about, again, his motivations, why he does this.
I never liked the word charity. Only God can be charitable. None of us are charitable. We have our ego, we are interested, and we do the things, and my mother used to say, sorry, whatever you do, you keep on doing the same thing again and again, because success brings more success in that small area. If you keep on watching football, you can speak and keep on watching more and more. Watch cricket. You can do hours and hours, days and days, you can do the same thing. But if you do something else, you do the same thing over and over again. I think that can happen. That's how I started to do, and I liked more and more, and especially with children's vision is a remarkable. There is nothing equivalent to give a blind child vision. Could be a 15-minute operation or a 1-hour operation, and give them
75 years of productive life. So he's basically saying, if you practice like you would at cricket or football, he did it with top-notch eye surgery and was able to change the lives of thousands of children across the globe. The mission of the Eye Foundation is to cure childhood blindness and make eye care affordable and accessible, especially in those underdeveloped regions where there's little healthcare infrastructure. The organization is engaged in health education as well, practitioner training, and research efforts in many nations, including India, Afghanistan, Ghana, and Iraq. And here he's going to talk a little bit about what he sees as now his main mission of training other ophthalmologists around the world to take up his legacy.
Another most important aspect of the foundation, how can we teach more so that they can, rather than me doing 100 operations. But average people always ask me, Raju, how many operations you did? More than that, I said, I taught in this trip more than 30 ophthalmologists. So even if I do 100 operations, these guys are going to do 3,000 operations. That is the goal, not me doing operations.
So to give you an idea of the scope of the EFA and its effects, they've conducted over 3.5 million vision screenings around the globe, and more than 350,000 corrective eye surgeries, according to their website, and given out tens of thousands of glasses to children all over the globe. He's also the recipient of many awards in the medical field, including the Dr. Martin Luther King Achievement Award, which is given by West Virginia University, which recognizes a humanitarian who acts as a change agent for inclusive and equal society for all people. So, is Dr. Raju here today? So, no?
He's in India.
Okay, he's in India. He's probably helping children right now learn to see. So, but let's give him a hand anyway for an incredible body of work. All right. So now I'm going to talk about the Honorable Upendra Chivkula, who just joined us. Thank you. So our next honoree is an electrical engineer and a politician who until most recently served as a commissioner of the New Jersey Board of Public Utilities. He also served 12 years in the New Jersey General Assembly and was deputy speaker for a good number of those years. I didn't write down how many. It was eight or nine. Yeah. He was born in Nellore, India, and grew up in Chennai, also in Andhra Pradesh, I believe. Is that, yeah. In our 2019 interview series, he described the impact his parents had on him and their upbringing in economically disadvantaged background. And, they spoke the Telugu language, which was different from a lot of the people around them, how that shaped his outlook on life.
Yeah, my father always wanted to, he said, lower the expectation. He was following the Buddha's principle, desire is the root cause of misery, so you tune down your desires and all that. Whereas my mother was very ambitious, and she really promoted the value of, hey, you got to work hard, you got to succeed, you got to come out, pull yourself out of the situation you are in. And that definitely a tremendous motivation for my mother. And also, in a social situations when you are dealing with people, when you have no money and when you don't have, you come from a certain thing, people always look down upon you. And it's as I said earlier, it's a tough thing, but you will have that pain, you will have that, feel hurt. But you can take that and transform that into positive energy. Say, look, I can excel, I can do better. Given myself, this is my starting point, I can always elevate myself to the higher. So I think the drive was there, somehow it's the inspiration to succeed, and not just succeed, excel. That was there. I don't know where it came from, but everything I did, I wanted to be the best. And
all right. And so he took that spirit, which may have come from his parents, talking about his mother. I didn't include this, but he also talked a lot about the Dale Carnegie books and their impact on his life. Many people I've interviewed have talked about their impact, but that was also a big influence for him. And so he took that approach and began studying electrical engineering and earned a degree at the College of Engineering at Guindy. However, at that time, jobs were tight in India, which led him to travel to Mumbai to look for work while staying with his family there. Here in this next clip, he's going to talk about what the daily grind was like, going out and looking for work every day.
so when I was in Mumbai, I found out the system, so I bought a train pass, monthly pass. And once you have a monthly pass, you can, unlimited times, you can get off and get on a train. So I used to go every day, get off in each train stop, and I used to walk miles to check what is available and the east and west of the train station. Every day I used to do one train stop like that. I used to travel and learn the city by myself. I remember distinctly, when my sister was getting married, they had given, we didn't have even proper shoes. We didn't have shoes, a lot of walking barefoot and all that. Also, I couldn't have, could only afford half shorts, basically. We couldn't afford a full pants because it required more cloth. And so for the wedding, they bought me one pant and one shirt, one white shirt and one pant, and I had one tie. So that's all I had. So I used to use that every day. And wear a tie, no jacket, we couldn't afford a jacket. So it was hot anyway, Mumbai was very hot. So I used to get off and go and knock on doors, try to look for a job. And at the end of the day, I come home, wash that pant and shirt, and dry it up overnight, and the next day morning iron it, wear the thing and go.
So those are some of the little vignettes you can get from oral histories that really speak to a person's character, their motivation. I also like to do comparative listens with my students that I play this and then I play some clips from Jewish refugees from Eastern Europe early in the 20th century who told a similar story of coming to New York, buying a train ticket, going to all the cities on the stop between Philadelphia and New York, and having like one good suit that they would have to clean meticulously every night and wear every day to go out and look for work. So, it shows that, what's unique about some of these stories, but also some of the common bonds that we all share as people. So after 3 months of hard work, he was able to find a job in a water purification company. In 1974, he moved to the United States as a graduate student, first living in Queens and eventually settling in Somerset, New Jersey. That's where he also met and married his wife, Daisy, who's got a wonderful story of her own on our website. You should read sometime. He earned a master's degree from City College of New York in electrical engineering. And then he went on to a long career in engineering, doing project management and information technology work for companies from CBS Television to AT&T Bell Labs. While at Bell Labs, he began some of the advocacy work that would lead into his career in public service. As the number of South Asian born or descended people working at Bell Labs grew, it became apparent that structural problems were emerging that threatened to derail their careers. In this next clip, he's going to talk about how he and others in the company went about trying to correct that structural bias.
We had started an organization called the South Asian Club. Basically, what happened at that time was that the Indian community, especially people from South Asia, their advancement was very difficult. A lot of the merit, the performance reviews reflected, saying that you lack leadership qualities, your communication skills are lacking, and that was a typical performance assessment. And I said we have to change that, and so we started bringing in Dale Carnegie type of courses into the labs, and also we had Toastmasters, and trying to create, especially the South Asian community, try to see how they can improve their communication, so overcome that hurdle, so that way they can advance in their careers. So that's see, a lot of the times the prejudice comes because of ignorance, because not knowing what the other person is capable of, and given the opportunity, I think most people can excel. A lot of the times, getting over that hump and getting that opportunity, getting access to that is the challenge. And when you come from a different culture like India or South Asia, what happens? Certain values are inculcated in you. Basically, you're supposed to be modest. You cannot be arrogant. You are supposed to respect the position, respect the elders, and things like that. That can be misunderstood as a weakness, because in American society, where you have to, if you have an idea, it doesn't matter. You got to push your idea, and it doesn't matter whether the other person is senior or more knowledgeable. It does not matter. If you can have an idea that you can market, you have to do it at any cost. And also, there's nothing wrong in taking credit for your work. This modesty thing, you have to leave it behind in order to succeed in America. So there's cultural differences.
So there you can see how inside one company there was this growing inequity, and fortunately Mr. Chivukula and his colleagues were able to address this and address any prejudice, but also find strategies for overcoming things like communication gap. So, sorry. Let me just jump back to my place. So, you know, I think, and maybe you'll agree with me, that that led into more of your career in public service, wanting to help more people. You started volunteering with the Democratic Party, trying to register more South Asians who were living in New Jersey. And from there, you went on to serve on the Franklin Township Council from 1998 to 2005, including time as the deputy mayor and the mayor. In 2001, he was elected to the New Jersey General Assembly, becoming the first South Asian American to serve in the Assembly. From 2002 to 2014, he represented the 17th Legislative District, and he also served as the Assembly's Deputy Speaker from 2007 to 2014. Then from 2014 to last year, he served as a commissioner on the New Jersey Board of Public Utilities. During his time in Trenton, he became noted for his contributions to reforms leading to investment in clean energy, in infrastructure projects, and high-tech manufacturing. So let's have a hand for him. All right. Oh. Our next honoree is Anand Andy Pillori. I think I see him back there. Is that? Yep. How you doing? He is a licensed professional civil engineer with 3 decades of experience in transportation infrastructure projects in New Jersey and the region. Perhaps most important to those of us here tonight, he was a leader of the project to expand the turnpike between exits 9 and 6. So remember him fondly this Memorial Day when you're not sitting in traffic heading down to the shore or Port South. So that's a good thing. But he's worked on pretty much every major road system in the area. He was born in Kakinada in Andhra Pradesh in India. His mother and his father, who was a world-renowned space physicist and an administrator at Andhra University, imbued in him an appreciation for education and helping others early on. The university where my father was teaching, to us, he recalled in our 2019 interview, was almost like a temple in the sense of a place of worship, because he had a very high regard for the university, not only as being the breadwinner, but he owed a lot from our family to the university. So we were brought up with the same mindset that the university is our world. And he went on to study at that university. He earned a bachelor degree in civil engineering from Andhra. Then in the early 1980s, he came to the United States to pursue a master's degree, turned into a master's of science in transportation systems engineering from Clarkson University up in Potsdam, New York, which he revealed in his interview was another cultural shock going up to Potsdam, where it was freezing weather in the middle of August. So coming from India to upstate New York is a little bit of a culture and climatological shock. He is the Vice President and Area Manager of WSP USA, Inc., one of the world's leading design engineering professional services firms. He has held numerous leadership positions in professional engineering associations, including as President of the Executive Board of the Institute of Transportation Engineering. Like Upendra Chivukula, Pillori became involved in serving his community by serving as an advocate for New Jersey's South Asian American communities. While living in Bridgewater, he attended a public meeting to address concerns there over the expansion of the city's Hindu temple. And so this he's going to describe in the next clip I'm going to play.
So these 3 people went and spoke, extremely intimidated, completely nervous, very thick accent, and could not articulate their ideas. And I don't say that as a negative thing. Imagine going in front of 100 people who are ready to kill you for widening or expanding the temple, and you still want to stand there and make your case for what you believe in. And they struggled really badly. And I was sitting there feeling very bad for them. I know exactly what they want to say, and they're trying to mix words and trying to construct sentences without making much sense. And then the floodgate opened up and people came and said, you need to camouflage this damn thing. It's ugly looking buildings. We don't want anywhere close to it. I mean, it's as you can see, that's out there in full fledged. And not to dismiss their concerns. They're concerned about traffic. They're concerned that people from Connecticut, Maryland come to this temple. Why should we put up with it? It's not New Jersey. There are some valid points people made in a very educated and normal, sensible way, and there are people who are completely on the other side. So I got an opportunity and I said, you know what, I want to speak now. So they didn't know whether I'm going to go which way, but my physical appearance gives up that I'm an Indian, so what are the chances I'm going to go against it, right? So I came and I gave my 2 cents about what I feel the expansion, why it's needed, what I think is something great about this country and specifically New Jersey, what is great about Bridgewater having moved here, why do I think this has to be done?
So there, again, we have somebody stepping forward who can use their communication skills to help others who maybe can't communicate their message as clearly or concisely. And so it cut out a little bit in there, but he did talk about how half of the people in the meeting may have been opposing the temple for reasons related to intolerance. Others, it may have been more reasonable things related to traffic patterns and stuff like that. So after moving from Bridgewater to Monroe Township, Andy continued to grow in his commitment to public service. He served on the Board of Education, the Planning Board, and he's also a founding member of the India USA Forum of Monroe Township. In this next clip, he's going to talk a little bit about what their role is in the community there.
So one of the things that I begin to see that disconnects is that most Indians are very comfortable in the environment they're in. That's because of the culture, food habits, and everything else that goes with it. However, we do have a little bit of a challenge when we want to mingle with the mainstream society, and I saw a tremendous need for that. Especially a town like Monroe that's growing, we felt that there got to be a platform instead of each community having their own organization, bring it all together. How can we do what's best for in the interest of the entire community, not just the Indian community, but how can the Indian community help the entire Monroe community to excel? And for example, yesterday we had a table at the night out. We conduct blood drives, we conduct domestic violence, and we partner with the police department, and we partner with the township administration, parks and recreation to conduct cricket tournaments, variety of things. I think America is what America is because of the diversity, because of embracing of all the cultures and all the people who came in. And I tell you that yes, when you have millions and millions of people, there got to be some bad apples in there. But the majority of the people are contributing citizens of this society. And like I said, I never made the best of grades in college. But I tell you that if I take my own class, graduated out of Andhra University back in 1984, the top 10% are in the US. Okay? While India spent hundreds and thousands of dollars, in rupees it's a lot more, to educate us, we left the country and we came here, we contributed to this society. And I feel I'm making my own contribution, but the Microsoft CEO is Satya Nadella, and he's also from Andhra Pradesh, and he's leading, the CEO of Pepsi, CEO of Cisco. Some of these, people can say, immigrants coming and taking our jobs, or you can say that this is the cream of the world, the universe wants to come to US and want to contribute to this society. And you want to embrace it, or you want to discriminate it. It's up to you. To me, that's simple.
All right. So Andy is also the recipient of the ACEC New Jersey Membership Recognition Award, the Excellence in Management Award in 2016, and the Community Leader Award from the Jewish Family Services of Middlesex County. He also serves on the Middlesex County College Board of Trustees. And let's have a hand for him as well. All right, so our final, last but not least, honoree is Ritu Chopra, who is a humanitarian, motivational speaker, and a certified life leadership coach, as well as a retired IT guru. Chopra was born in New Delhi, India. Her father was a notable attorney specializing in diplomacy and international trade. She spent many hours working with her father, helping with cases, looking forward to a career in law at that time. In our 2002 interview, she describes how those experiences helped shape her and give her self-confidence.
The one thing that's very emotional, and I think he impacted me in so many ways. When his clients would come to the home office, I was like in my mid-teens, 16s, 17s, around that. I was doing a lot of research. He had some civil cases through his American client, through American embassy, that they were referred, that they were publicized in media because of the type of cases they were. And in Supreme Court and High Court, the Supreme Court, there's only one Supreme Court for the whole country, whereas here in US, every state has a Supreme Court of its own. But it's over there. And he would take me with him, and I would borrow the black gown and of his assistant, and because she was about my height, and my mom got me a white sari, so because that was a requirement to appear in a high court or so, the white sari and a black gown without a tie, the British style tie, so I will go as an assistant. And when I was 18, and because of these type of all cases, the media would be present, not like a paparazzi media, print media, and they would ask questions, so I would listen. Sometimes they thought that I was the assistant or I was the person. They'll ask me if he was busy. So what impact he had made that he would introduce, I'm the firstborn of 5 out of the 5 siblings, I'm firstborn. And he would tell his clients, she is my son. So he gave me that. The respect, the capability of being a son in the family. That is in our families, the presence of a son is, you are the successor of the family. So he saw that.
So there in the oral histories, we get people to talk a little bit about the dynamics in their family, and as in this case, gave her a lot of confidence, poise. I think we see some of that today, to this day. After she completed her bachelor's degree at New Delhi University, Chopra got married and immigrated to the United States. After living briefly in South Dakota, they then settled in Wisconsin, where they lived for 13 years, during which time their 2 children were born. She worked at her husband's small business, a souvenir and gift shop. Unfortunately, her marriage turned abusive, and for a while she suffered in silence. She had no family support in America. She feared the stigma of divorce, which would affect not only her, but her family members as well. She had few professional prospects, but despite these obstacles, she was not going to stay in this situation. In this next clip, she's going to describe some of what she did to overcome these obstacles.
Other thing was that he would never allow me to drive. In a small town, you cannot live in the United States, even in New Jersey, you cannot live on the basis that you don't have a car or transportation. And that is the case 10 times more than here that you would have. You might have friends to drive. We have Ubers and taxis. There was nothing that there. There was nothing. There was no need of that. So this Winnebago tribe had a trading post and a reservation where they had a bingo hall. One of my neighbor used to go play bingo there, Caucasian woman, and she knew about some of my situation because there was confidence that if I was at risk that I would come to her house. Um, she told me they have a job opening, but they only hire Indian people, meaning reservation Indians, not Indians of India. So that's another funny story that I told. So she said, I will take you, you can apply and see what happens. I applied, I had very long black silky hair that I fit in from the looks in that. They needed somebody so bad, they hired me immediately. So this woman would, my husband would actually, he saw money coming in, so he would drop me off and this woman would bring me back and I'll pay her. So I worked with them maybe 4 or 5 months. And the money that I had, I saved all of it that I got. And I bought a car, used car, and I took driving lessons. That empowered me so much that I knew that when time comes that I'm able to leave. It was very scary moments.
So there you see a little bit of the gumption and grit she had to marshal to get out of the situation. You also get a sense of how the planning for some of these things can work. Other projects that focus more closely on domestic abuse survivors go into those issues in detail, the different strategies that people use to get out of these situations, and then use them to teach lessons to other people in that situation. Rita continued her education, completing a distance learning course in interior design. She worked multiple jobs and saved more money. She was determined to forge a better life for herself and her children. So in 1996, she moved to Edison, New Jersey. Her situation vastly improved, but she still found herself encountering new difficulties. She worked 2 jobs while also taking information technology courses. She recovered from a serious car accident. As a single parent, she found the tribulations of finding affordable child care and navigating her own career while raising children as another obstacle. Her professional journey continued, though, all while her children went through school and onto higher education. For 20 years, she was able to succeed in the field of corporate information technology, and then she turned her attention to others, to helping others in similar situations and helping the community at large. She met, through a mutual friend, a woman who was working for the United Nations. She opened up to her about her stories as a survivor of domestic abuse, and, quote, within an hour, she recalled, she convinced me to be a voice for millions who don't have one. Chopra wanted to parlay her experiences, many traumatic, but also many uplifting, into media that would inspire others. She shifted gears in her career and went into life coaching, writing, and filmmaking. She produced the award-winning documentaries Lead My Way, a global perspective on domestic violence, and The Secret Crimes and the Silent Epidemic of Generations. She's the founding director of Lead My Way, a nonprofit dedicated to raising awareness about gender-based violence. In 2014, she launched Despite the Challenges with Princeton TV. The program showcases the stories of individuals who have overcome extraordinary challenges and in turn have made a positive impact on the communities around them. She's the author of the books Art of Life, Mastering Life, Women Leadership in the 21st Century, I think that's the book over there, and Magic, you're writing now Magic in the Mindfulness, okay. We'll look for that soon. And you continue to host Despite the Challenges. And I just want to leave with one more thought from you about the responsibility of taking these stories from other survivors and sharing them with the world.
Opening up that platform to people, it's okay to express. It's nobody's fault that what we are put through. I say that is nobody's fault because even if we fault someone, it doesn't give us any outcome. Doesn't give us, it only angers or there's resentment. It doesn't present solution. So accept the things you can accept and then find help and allow yourself to heal. Life can be better. I have found so much to be grateful, thankful for. I have found a platform for myself that I am welcome. So that was because I didn't give up. I didn't succumb to the pain. And I am able to be that voice that can give the voice to who need one, and I began to believe it.
See, that's a common theme in a lot of these interviews. Don't give up, keep going, and thank you so much for sharing your story. Thank you very much.
Opening up, yeah.
And I request the mayor to open the two clock to come to this.
Oh, that's great. How are you?
We conducted the first event and Upendra Chopra was the recipient of the Changemaker Award. Now, after 11 years, 12 years, we are having the second event. And first, I request Andy Paluri to come and receive the award. Our Assemblyman, Sterling Stanley, has got a resolution passed by the Assembly honoring and recognizing Andy Paluri, and we would like Mayor to present the award. Resolution. The Mayor will.
Well, before I get started, and I know you've got all four to give recognition to, and this is the Assemblyman's recognition. He had to step out, so I'm kind of filling in, no props or things to read from. But listening to all four stories actually reminds me of my own family history, and I think that's the story of most immigrants who come to this country. And since most people that are in this country came as immigrants, the stories resonate. People who have had to achieve or overcome great obstacles to get here. I remember my father-in-law who got here and told stories over and over again. He was a Holocaust survivor and left for this country because it was the only place that offered him an opportunity when the world seemed to have turned its back on him and humanity in general. And he used to say to his children and to me that this is your America. I didn't understand what he meant by that. But it's very clear to me now exactly what he meant by that. That the opportunity for us to pave a path for our own futures and to determine our outcomes and not have others determine it for us is what the real miracle and opportunity is, and for which so many people have put their lives at risk to come here. I think that story never grows old. It makes me incredibly angry when I see Americans who are so anti-immigration, because that is the story of this country. Immigrants have made this country great. And the four of you today are examples of exactly why people do exactly what they do to come to this country. And I congratulate each one of you. You have a different story, but they're each yours, but they tell a tale of why people come here. And I'm incredibly proud to be here with you and to award this certificate on behalf of the Assemblyman to you.
Before giving the award, we can speak a few words about your 2012. Take it easy. 2012, you were given an award here on this stage.
Thank you very much. It's an honor to be with the mayor here. Mayor has been a great supporter of the Indian American community, South Asian community in particular. And you know, I just want to, I'm very grateful for the award. I mean, I was not expecting any awards. I think I was thinking that I was going to give an award. I think that's what he was telling. And that's why I'm all dressed up to give an award, but I'm getting an award. It is really fantastic that our community recognizing others, you know, within the community as well as others. It's very important. Rutgers has done a tremendous job in terms of creating the awards, creating the history, and capturing, for example, how much patience it really requires to go through that, especially during the pandemic time. That's when I have given my, I guess, testimonial to Rutgers University. And so one thing I want to conclude by saying that it's not about getting awards. It is about people like Ritu Chopra, who has stepped up and willing to help other people. I think that is very important, because this is a social issue that there's a stigma about domestic violence issues, and we have to speak up, and wherever there's injustice, we should rise and speak up. I think that is what I admire. I think Andy Paluri, I know, V.K. Raju, I know, they all have done wonderful things, and I am honored to be here receiving your award. Thank you.
Your award.
Oh, it's a proclamation.
Now it's your turn to give the award to
Yeah, you're on double duty today.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. On a Friday evening to be here, it really takes your dedication and shows your dedication to Agraj Seva Kendra for coming, and I want to thank the Agraj Seva Kendra for recognizing all of us. When I moved to Bridgewater, actually, I learned. Actually, I was listening to, I remember it was like 101.3 or something like that. It's a FM station that used to have on a Friday evening around 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock. Assemblyman Upendra is speaking and answering questions. And when he said that he's from Andhra Pradesh, I immediately connected emotionally with him. And when he said what he said on the radio, I connected with him politically. And after that, we connected even ideologically in terms of what we want to do for the Indian community. So you've been an inspiration for many of us, and we'll continue to right this ship as long as we can. And hopefully we'll pass it on to some of the youngsters sitting here, and hopefully to others as well. But when I gave that interview back at Rutgers back in 2019, I did not realize that this would be played a few years later. And listening to your own self is very awkward to begin with. And when people go on to talk about you, it's even more awkward. But you know, I really dedicate, like the mayor said, actually, some of the people, including Rituji, some of them had really hard life, and they have to fight their way up. And I'm not going to stand here and tell you that I did the same thing. I did not. I had my road paved very comfortably and conveniently throughout my life, and I'm grateful for that to my father and my mother and my family. Now, even after getting married and having kids, my road is paved very cleanly because my wife takes care of everything else that she needs to do. So she's here, so, you know, Mayor Pucci once told me, never forget to thank your wife before you finish a speech, and I always remember that. And I want to say a word about Mayor Cohen as well. Although he's a neighboring town, he's just about as good of a friend of ours in Monroe as Mayor Delina is. Thank you very much for your support every step of the way, and we look forward to working with East Brunswick on more events culturally. I mean, my ambition, when people ask me what is my vision, what do I want to do, is to make sure that the Indian community is a part of the American community and not just stay with the Indian community. That's the reason we formed the IFM, India-USA Forum of Monroe Township. My colleague and good friend Mahir is here, videotaping diligently the entire speech. And another friend of mine and the president of the organization, Hemant Patel, is not here. Usually we get together and do events with Agraj Seva. But the whole intent of forming these organizations is not to get awards, but to serve the people. And this is a good encouragement when we get these once in a while. So I accept this on behalf of the IFM and my friends back and who have the same aspirations to achieve in their life. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. If everyone can still stay on stage. Do we have a representative for Dr. VK Raju?
First finish with Ritu.
Okay, then we'd like to invite Ms. Ritu Chopra on stage for a bouquet and the plaque.
Not listening to the video and actually hear you talk.
First of all, gratitude to Agraj Seva came to honor us all. This honors and award, as other honorees have said, not to get awards for what we do. It's just the acknowledgement of the efforts what's needed and what it takes to make those efforts to get to this stage. It's an inspiration to ourselves. Once we are inspired, we inspire others. As Sean had shared clips from our interview, the journey of all immigrants is not always very pleasant. This is the story that even Mayor shared, the generation that who came before us. It's important for us to acknowledge those who have paved these platforms for us to be here. And we create those better platforms for our younger generations. And so they have their stories of success to take forward and remember where they belong, where their roots are, and be proud of that. As America is land of immigrants, however the sentiments are out there, but it's time to acknowledge to ourselves we are part of the bigger picture. And that's where something that I was inspired by someone, and I wanted to be the voice and inspire others. I left my lucrative management consulting and IT that wasn't filling my heart. Yes, it was good paycheck, but that's what it was. So to take this message forward, to look at the women who have the power, they possess so much power, but they have suppression, and how that power can be, regardless of the circumstances that they have, how they can recognize their own power. And not only for themselves, but raising the conscious leaders of tomorrow. That's where we are right now, at a very critical stage. So there's a two-way to look at where we are at the third decade of the 21st century. Women today are globally connected, more educated, almost close to 50% contribution into the GDP of every nation in the world. From agriculture to aerospace, women are everywhere. We had roles from goddesses to slaves and everything in between. The journey has been very difficult. So when I started documenting this, I looked at the 200 years of journey of women, where they were and where they are. So all the roles from goddesses to slaves and the givers of life, we, being in a corporate world or contributing to the family's income and success of the family, we still play dual roles. We sacrifice so much but do not have that recognition. So I honor women of all generations and everywhere from all walks of life. that you are a leader in many ways. Today, in a corporate world, we look for leaders to have empathy, to be a better listeners, be caring for others, inspire others, and mothers do that, but they are completely unknown for their contribution. So my goal here is that I want to take that message and be voice of those women that who have power, and they are creating the leaders of tomorrow. Know that power and be that power to create those powerful leaders of tomorrow, men and women both. We need to leave those gender wars behind and be collaborative, come from that mindset and know how to collaborate. And that's what keeps us behind the leadership roles, that we lack confidence, we lack assertiveness. So it is really important for us to open up and seek those collaborations and go understand the positive platform that women have today. They are standing on the shoulders of the giants. That women who have created baby boomer generation to, you can see your grandmother generation to your generation, and the younger generation, how much difference there is for access to opportunities women have at present. That is because of the work that has been put forward in from many generations behind them. So acknowledge them. We need to come together, every walk of life, every generation of women and men. We need to collaborate to create conscious global leaders of tomorrow. You have the power, know that, and be kind to each other. So I thank you, everyone, and having this opportunity to be recipient of this acknowledgements. And I hope that you all inspire me to continue the work that I have taken. Thank you.
Any representative of Dr. V.K. Raju? Thank you all. Thank you. Yeah. Now I request
Presidential Award.
The director of the library to come to the stage. He will distribute President's Volunteer Award to the volunteers of the Agraj Seva. You can say a few words.
Oh, well, I wasn't expecting to come up here at all, but thank you very much. Just wanted to welcome everybody. It was amazing to hear these stories. I was really glad to hear that Rutgers, where I studied history, is doing these projects. I've actually worked on oral history projects in North Jersey before as well. So I was just really glad to hear everyone's story. I'm glad to hear that all this work is being done. And just welcome everybody, and thank you all for coming. I really didn't expect to have to come up here and say anything tonight, so thank you very much. I also just want to say the library is obviously a place where I'm glad this is being held at the library, because the library is supposed to be a place where we bring everyone together, we share our stories, we share history, we document history, and this is an important part of that, and I hope that this continues, well, forever, really. So thanks again. Oh, I'm going to distribute them. Okay.
Advait Advait Bejula. Advait Bejula is not there. Vishwajit Sai Reddy Banala. Anjali Anil Nair.
Congrats. Thank you.
Would you like to say a few words about what you did?
Thank you so much for this. Thank you so much for this award. I really appreciate how much you've done for me and how much recognition that I have to get this award today, and I'm really grateful for this opportunity. Thank you.
You can go ahead.
He will give the certificate. You put the. Yeah.
Where?
Yeah. Get the certificate. Yeah, next. Parent will come and receive it. And Sanjay is not here. Wait, Tanya Raj.
Oh, neighbor? Okay. Hope they feel better.
Yeah.
Teja Marandy. Teja Marandy. You will put it up.
Teja,
Say a few words.
stay close, stay close, stay close.
What would you like to say?
Thank you, Agraj Seva, for providing me a platform in which I can achieve greater success. Thank you.
Wonderful. Manmi Marandy. Say a few words.
As the other two speakers said, thank you for this opportunity, and I'm happy to be able to spread my culture and religion with everyone else.
Stay close, stay close.
Others, Nambia.
Thank you, Agraj Seva, for giving me this award and continuing to inspire kids to volunteer and spread good messages.
Lakshya Venkatesan. It's a sister. Here.
Thank you, Agraj Seva Kendra, for giving me an amazing award like this. I'm sure that everyone here today, like kids like or older than me, are inspired by everyone, the role models who have an amazing story to share. And I will keep moving forward with this award achievement in my hand. Thank you.
Stay together.
John.
Yeah, you take a picture, close, stay close.
All the
Yeah,
all the
can you come, all the volunteers?
All the
Yeah,
medal
volunteers,
recipients,
yeah.
please come.
All the award recipients, come on.
You be there.
Where the medals?
I don't like being in front of them.
Come, all of you come.
You all line up that way.
Congressman, you can also join. Stay close, yeah. Kavya, stay close.
Say a few words of encouragement.
Yes, Kavya, stay close.
First, I want to congratulate all of you for volunteering, and Agraj Seva Kendra has done a fantastic job in finding you, giving you opportunity to volunteer. I think many of us believe each of us can take care of ourselves, but it takes somebody special to take care of others. And so when you volunteer, that means you are giving your time and you are giving your emotions and helping some other people. And I just want you to, this is just a beginning. This is just a medal. Whenever you receive an award, it's an award, but it also comes along with that responsibility. So you have to carry this forward and do better and bigger, greater things in life. I think that's what it's all about. And so it's not about you, it's about all of us. And I want to wish you the very best, and I want to thank Sean Illingworth. He did a fantastic job in narrating all the stories. And, you deserve an award yourself. but I think you have to, look at the passion. It's not like as young as I am, but he has that dedication. He wants to do things, make things better, so make the community shine. And that's what it's all about. And so I'm really delighted to join all of you today. And 2012 was the award I got here. So I'm second time I'm getting, so I'm not doing that bad. But I think it's a very special day for all of you, and for Agraj Seva's Kendra, I think it's a special day. Thank you very much, Govindji, and for all the work you do.
It was made possible because of a grant from the Middlesex County commissioners, and we thank the Middlesex County for the generous grant.
Definitely. So first of all, thank you so much for everyone who came out today. And I would like to thank all of the guests, the mayor, the assemblymen who had to leave early, and everyone who's supported our event. And I would also like to thank the Middlesex County Commission for giving us the support. And of course, a huge thank you to our award winners and our role models who shared their stories. And especially after hearing the oral history, it kind of brought their life stories to, we got to learn more about their lives and gain inspiration and insight from that. And I think all of the young students here today, we will keep that in mind as we pursue our professional and personal goals. So thank you.
You've got snacks and tea in the back.
Yeah, so if you haven't already, we do have snack packs in the back along with water, tea, coffee, so please help yourself. We also do have Ms. Chopra's book over on the side available there as well. So thank you again for attending our event.